So here's just kind of a little sneak peek of Survival Shakedown there. Some guys from Flake Chops are making a real good video about this, and they'll do a way better job than I am. I'm just kind of quickly showing you what we did here. So we went out there near Kelowna there and simulated exercise where basically we crashed our planes, and we had to survive what was in our planes for 24 hours. And it's kind of interesting. And the reason I wanted to bring the drone up there, because the perspective I wanted to show is what you can see from the air, because you're always kind of wondering, if you're on the ground and you've crashed, you got an emergency and you're waving, you got a fire and signals and stuff. So, you think, well, they're going to see you and whatnot. So the idea was, so there's 17 camps here, because there was one couple. So there's 17 crash sites here. So they all got their own little fire and their signals and different things there. And they're trying to survive the 24 hours, and the idea is they light a fire, make some smoke and stuff, so they can be seen from the air where the crash is. But as you can see, like, this is over a pretty small area. We're talking about maybe 2 acres here, and so there's over 20 people running around here, and you'd have to look really hard to see a person on the ground. And you see some smoke, but on a kind of a foggy day, and this area sees a lot of recreational use, so there's lots of other campfires and stuff around there. I'll tell you, pretty tough for anyone to really spot you on the ground, and a lot tougher than I thought. I was really surprised, because flying airplanes, usually you can see some smoke from a long ways away and stuff, but just the conditions and stuff. You look there, and there's a lot of people on the ground walking around, and you'd have to look really carefully to ever see a person there. I don't know how a helicopter or the Buffalo or someone would ever just pick someone out there. And we're flying really slow. We're probably less than 150 feet from the ground. We're tilted down. Look at that. We're just flying, just barely moving along. And I know exactly where these camps are because I walked through there. And I'm trying to kind of pick them out and film them. And you can't see very much. So it kind of really opens up your eyes as to what you need to do to be seen. And I really thought everything would be a lot more visible from the air than it is, but I gotta say hats off to those guys that find people that have crashed in the bush that even with the coordinates and stuff. Pretty tough job to pick these guys out, eh? So this is a really interesting exercise. It wasn't in the best of conditions. I mean, it was raining for a good part of the day. And everything's just soaking wet, and pretty tough to start a fire in there. But all but 2 of us were able to spend the night there and start a fire. And I don't think most of the guys got too much sleep, but it's a really good exercise to, it kind of gets you thinking a little bit. What would you do if you're in an emergency situation, and and what should you have on your plane, for your emergency kit or whatever. And hope you never be in this situation, but it's always good to practice for the worst and hope for the best, I guess. So there was also a film crew on site, so they went around to all these different campsites and talked to the different people and showed the different methods that they had for doing their survival camps. Are really interesting, so it'll take them a little while to get that up, but go to the BC General Aviation website, kind of check on there, or I'll post a link on here when they finally get it done. I'm sure it'll take a little while for them to process it, but kind of really looking forward to it. Those guys do a really good job there with their filming and stuff, and give them a little bit of this drone footage here, because their drone didn't have the latest updates, and it didn't want to fly there, so kind of helped them out a little bit there, and I'll be interested to see what they come up with. Yeah, you can also do a Google search for Flake Chops. They had all kinds of interesting videos on there, aviation related stuff. I mostly just going to stick with the mines and stuff, but I'll kind of enjoy flying my drone and documenting this a little bit. One thing that's kind of cool is, notice you're flying over there, you'll see a campsite or something come into sight if it's just at the very right angle, and it just disappears. So, I mean, it's really surprising. When you're on the ground, you think it's pretty visible. But, it just really very briefly, eh? So there's just kind of a bird's eye view of some of the little camps there. And quite a lot of snow on the ground, so it's pretty tough to start a fire in there. definitely not a luxury camping trip. So did a little demo here. They're lighting up a little kind of a bomb there and trying to make smoke signals and stuff on it. Try to make as much smoke as you can. And it looks like a lot of smoke from the ground, but from the air it doesn't really look all that impressive. If I guess if the smoke's is attacking you, it looks it's pretty nasty. So, and the other thing they were going to do here is just kind of show how fire extinguishers work. So, got a little bit of practice there, trying to load a fire extinguisher, and we'll see how that works. See, so basically, there's hardly any smoke there at all. It just kind of come right down, but the fire extinguisher kind of perked it up. So, didn't have much effect on the fire, but it sure made a lot of smoke.